In the next 60 minutes, a hidden rival will move, Archangel Michael says. Watch quietly and strike wisely. The hour has begun. And as the hands of time shift forward, so too does the hidden energy around you begin to stir. This moment was foretold, not in the noise of the crowd, but in the silence of the spirit. You have walked through seasons of delay, of uncertainty, of betrayal cloaked in politeness and silence dressed as peace. But now, as the atmosphere tightens, Archangel Michael has stepped forth, not with a sword drawn in chaos, but with wisdom forged in divine clarity. He brings this message not to frighten you, but to alert your senses, to refine your awareness, and to arm your discernment. There is a move being made in the spirit realm. A quiet rival has begun their approach, not with boldness, but with shadows, with whispers, with intentions they think are invisible. But heaven sees what man cannot, and heaven is sending help. This is not just about you being targeted. This is about you being anointed. A hidden rival moves when your spiritual weight increases. A hidden rival shifts when your future begins to open. They are not just opposing who you are. They are opposing what you are becoming. Within the next 60 minutes, a message may be sent, a meeting may be held, a choice may be made that was crafted to pull you down. But heaven says, watch quietly and strike wisely. Your power is not in panic. Your power is in patience. Your elevation does not require exposure. Your wisdom will do what no confrontation could ever accomplish. You are not required to chase rumors, argue with shadows, or plead your innocence to those who never plan to believe it. The Most High has dispatched Archangel Michael in this hour to go before you, not to remove every enemy, but to reveal every intent. Understand this now. The rival moves because the throne is shifting. The rival whispers because your voice is rising. What they know about you is old, but what heaven is building in you is new. You have been instructed to stay still not because you are weak, but because your silence is sharper than their schemes. This is not about revenge. This is about revelation. And in this hour, revelation will become your shield. Their strategies will collapse not because you fought, but because you listened. Not because you clapped back, but because you stayed back. Not because you shouted your truth, but because your truth cannot be denied by time. Your discernment is your divine weapon. Listen to what your spirit feels, even when your eyes see nothing. They are moving behind closed doors, but Archangel Michael is standing at yours. Their strategy is secrecy, but your response must be spiritual. You are in a consecrated zone, a sacred timeline. Within 60 minutes, there will be a shift. For some, it will come as a strange text. For others, a long-forgotten enemy may appear suddenly in conversation. For few, there may be a decision made that directly tries to discredit or derail your name. But hear this now, your name is in heaven's wind. No one can remove what God has written. And so, Archangel Michael commands you through this prophetic word, do not engage with panic. Engage with presence. Sit still. Stay aware. Observe everything. Speak little. Move only when instructed. For the sword of heaven is not in your hands. It is in your stillness. The Lord has not forgotten how they schemed. And the Lord has not forgotten how you stayed silent before. Now, heaven speaks on your behalf. And when heaven speaks, no rival can stand. Within 60 minutes, their plans will begin. But within 24 hours, the counterattack of the divine will shut it down. Type I am protected in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 606 is forming a divine firewall around you. Archangel Michael has stepped into your hour. Not next week. Not someday. Now. There is no delay in the divine's urgency. The silence you've been sitting in was not a void. It was preparation. A wind has stirred in the unseen realm. And this message is not just a heads up. It is a divine alarm, an invocation from the throne room itself. This is the moment the heavens interrupt your atmosphere with a message that's more than warning. It's weaponry. You are not hearing this by accident. You are not scrolling by coincidence. This is a divine summoning. The Spirit of God has authorized Archangel Michael to speak this truth because the next 60 minutes are pregnant with movement, ripe with decision, charged with power. Someone has shifted in their posture toward you, and what they've been planning in silence is about to ripple into action. This is not the hour to second-guess what you're discerning. You felt it. You sense it. You've seen the flicker behind the eyes, the switch in the tone, the way certain names avoid your presence. You weren't imagining it. Your spirit was being activated. You are not paranoid. You are prophetically aware. You are not oversensitive. You are spiritually in tune. And now, Archangel Michael says, it is time to watch with new eyes and walk with ancient power. The next 60 minutes are not just physical. They are dimensional. And what moves in that hidden realm will either unravel or unlock depending on how you respond. Heaven does not warn without reason. And when the Archangel is released, it means this is not minor. The enemy of your soul has authorized someone to push a strategy forward against you, not just to irritate you, but to divert you. Not just to distract you, but to delay you. And heaven says, this is a divine intervention. This is heaven's response to what you haven't even seen yet. This message is the answer to the prayer you didn't know you needed. And make no mistake, your stillness right now is louder than their strategy. Your silence in this season is more violent in the spirit than any outburst in the physical. Archangel Michael is not speaking to your weakness. He is addressing your wisdom. And in this very moment, as these words land in your ears, his sword has already been drawn. It is not a weapon of noise, it is a blade of light. Every rival that rises against the chosen is met not with rage, but with revelation. You are not alone. You are not defenseless. You are not outnumbered. You are held in a supernatural formation. And while someone schemes, heaven watches. While someone plans to speak your name in rooms where you're not present, the Holy Spirit speaks your name in realms where your rival will never reach. This is the hour of divine strategy. Heaven says, do not engage as they expect. Do not respond as you once would have. Do not react with the desperation they hope to see. You have it all. You are not who you were last season. You are not who they remember. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving anything. This is about presence. This is about preservation. This is about the positioning of a chosen soul whose light makes enemies uncomfortable, not because you hurt them, but because you outgrew them. And now they whisper to control the version of you that no longer exists. Michael says, your movement is sacred. Your words are weapons. Your timing is divine. You will not be rushed. You will not be pulled. You will not be baited. You will not be triggered. You are under divine orders now. And every breath you take in this moment of stillness is a roar in the heavens. Archangel Michael is releasing firewalls of silence, shields of stillness, and the sword of discernment. You are not late. You are right on time. You are not vulnerable. You are divinely surrounded. Type I am ready for strategy in the comments. Blessing code 7777 is unlocking divine timing and supernatural sight in your life. There is someone observing you, not with open eyes, but with a veiled heart. Their attention is cloaked in curiosity, but their intention is poisoned by envy. They watch your every post. They track your energy in conversations. They dissect your decisions not because they care, but because they fear what your light exposes in them. And now, in the spiritual realm, their whisper has turned into motion. Something is shifting behind the scenes. A message is being crafted. An alliance is being discussed. A door is being approached with the intention to tarnish your name or misalign your truth. And they think you are unaware. They believe your silence means sleep. But Archangel Michael declares, your silence is surveillance. Your stillness is strength. Your peace is warfare. They do not know that you were warned long before this moment. You felt the tightening in your chest when their name came up. You noticed the sudden distance, the strategic absence, the unspoken shift in their tone. You saw how they began aligning with those who once opposed you, how they started laughing at jokes you once shared, only now to mock what you once confided. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. Heaven is giving you a flash of clarity before the storm. And while they maneuver, you have been given the map. Their movements are not mysterious to the spirit. Their tactics are not hidden from heaven. Their shadows are not dark enough to conceal them from divine eyes. Archangel Michael says, you are not in the dark. You are in the light. And everything done in darkness must answer to light. Understand this. Your rival has uncovered something, but only a fragment. They think they know your weakness, but what they're looking at is the old version of you. They think they've found your flaw, but it is only a scar, and scars do not break you. They prove you survive. They are constructing a plan built on an illusion, and heaven will allow them to move just far enough to reveal their true nature. Do not fear the gossip. Do not fear the gathering. Do not fear the tone in their voice. Fear nothing, for Archangel Michael has released angels of interception. They will not get far. They will not finish what they started. They will be tripped by their own tongue. Their alliance will crumble before it begins. You were not sent to expose them. You were not called to unmask every hater. You were born to rise in front of them. That is the mystery of your protection. You rise while they plot. You thrive while they whisper. You walk while they watch. They will not understand how you keep going. But heaven knows. And the truth is this. They never had the full picture. And they never will. You are spiritually encrypted. Your steps are coded in divine wisdom. Your timing is sealed by prophetic grace. While they scramble to understand you, God hides you in plain sight. Michael says, do not chase clarity where confusion lives. Do not beg for loyalty from the disloyal. Do not over-explain to ears that have already decided not to listen. What's moving now is not meant to be confronted. It is meant to be outlived. You will outlast their lies. You will outlive their projections. You will outrun their traps. And you will do it not by defending yourself, but by knowing yourself. There is a disruption, yes. But it is not your destruction. It is your redirection. You are being spiritually rerouted. You are being pulled from old alignments into divine assignments. Trust the disturbance. Trust the silence. Trust the discomfort. For it is the Spirit doing the separating for you. If they had stayed, you would have settled. If they had been loyal, you might have lowered your light to keep them close. But now, as they scheme, as they drift, as they disguise their disloyalty behind casual distance, know this: you are being made untouchable. Every rival that rises is simply confirming the new altitude of your life. And no matter how well they disguise it, heaven has already revealed their true posture. And that revelation is your release. Type I see clearly now in the comments if this message strikes your spirit. Blessing code 1212 is activating divine discernment and emotional clarity over your life. This is not just personal. This is not merely about reputation. This is not a petty misunderstanding or an emotional overreaction. Archangel Michael declares that what you are facing now is spiritual warfare camouflaged in casual conflict. What they see is God's of God sees at the gate. What they spoke behind your back has echoed in the halls of heaven, and now angels are gathering, not for vengeance, but for validation. Because this battle was never about who you offended. This battle is about what you carry, and what you carry is divine. What you carry is disruptive to darkness. What you carry is a key that opens what they were never assigned to walk through. And so, the conflict is not coincidence, it is confirmation. You are not simply misunderstood. You are misclassified by those who cannot fathom the weight of your calling. But heaven knows. Heaven recognizes the fragrance of a chosen one. And Archangel Michael has been stationed at the gate of your life not to remove every rival, but to remind you, you are not here by accident. You are anointed. You are appointed. And you are advancing. Every attack, every betrayal, every whisper behind your back has only elevated your spiritual ranking. You do not fight on the level of your enemy. You move at the level of your assignment. And the higher your calling, the louder the resistance. But do not fear it. For heaven has sanctioned your success. They speak against you because your silence offends them. They push against you because your peace disrupts their patterns. They hope to rattle you because your restraint reveals their lack of control. But the Spirit says this is not the time to stoop. This is the time to soar. Archangel Michael frames this not as a disagreement between people, but as a cosmic shaking between darkness and light. You do not wrestle with flesh and blood. You do not battle personalities, you battle principalities. And what's rising now is an ancient resistance that's tried before and failed. The same energy that tried to break you in the past has found a new vessel. But the outcome will be no different. You will stand. You will endure. You will overcome. You are a light bearer, a truth holder, a divine disruptor. And because of that, the enemy has always sought to use people around you to wear you down, to make you question your purpose, to exhaust your heart before you reach the promise. But that strategy is breaking today. Michael says the veil has lifted. The lies are being exposed. The setups are being intercepted. And the reason this moment is so intense is because it is a test. A final prayer point before your promotion. Heaven watches not how loud you roar, but how still you remain. God is not asking you to clap back. He's asking you to stand back. Let them swing at shadows. Let them argue with projections. Let them destroy their own image while trying to tarnish yours. Archangel Michael affirms, this is your refining. This is your rise. This is your revelation. You are not broken. You are being built. You are not under attack. You are under construction. And every unseen blow, every misquoted word, every sly remark is being written in heaven's ledger. Nothing escapes the divine eye. And while they frame you as the villain, God frames you as the vessel. You are being used not to win arguments, but to win dimensions. Not to please people, but to pierce darkness. And that is why this fight is spiritual. That is why it feels heavier than it should. Because the enemy has tried to assign small minds to block a grand design. But it will not work. It never does. The chosen always rise. Let your tears speak in prayer. Let your discernment speak in silence. Let your posture remain unshaken. Because what feels like abandonment is actually alignment. And what looks like betrayal is actually a barrier-breaking prophecy. You have been surrounded by those who couldn't see the mark on your life. But the Spirit has. And Archangel Michael is speaking this clearly. This conflict is heaven's canvas. It is painting a picture of your resilience. It is drawing a portrait of your spiritual maturity. And it is sealing the reality that your destiny is protected, not by man, but by the Most High. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if this resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 1122 is now activated over your path. You are chosen. You are protected. You are rising. The hour is no longer approaching, it is now unfolding. In the realm of the Spirit, the shift has begun. The hidden rival has stirred. They've watched long enough, and now, motivated by fear, envy, or wounded pride, they are moving. This is not speculation. This is not symbolic. This is spiritual reality. The enemy has whispered to a familiar face, chosen a once close confidant, or perhaps selected an old opponent masked as a new connection. And now the conversation has started. A message is being drafted. A meeting is being considered. Within the next 60 minutes, something is going to happen. Maybe subtle, maybe loud, but it will be designed to throw you off balance. It will be designed to steal your peace, provoke your reaction, or challenge your progress. Archangel Michael declares, this is not the time to be caught off guard. This is not the moment to let down your spiritual guardrails. This is not the season to underestimate the enemy's persistence. The rival who moves now is not confident. They are desperate. They sense your elevation, even if they don't fully understand it. They feel your spiritual surge, even if they pretend not to notice. And their movement is an echo of what the kingdom of darkness is doing in the background, trying to stir opposition before you can fully step into your next assignment. But hear this clearly. Heaven already knows their timeline, and heaven has already built a shield around your name, your path, and your peace. You will feel it before it arrives. That sudden unease, that random fatigue, that strange comment from someone you trusted. You might sense the tension when your name is mentioned or pick up on the energy shift when a room suddenly grows cold in spirit. These are not coincidences. These are divine nudges. You are not imagining things. Your intuition is on assignment. You are not crazy, you are chosen. Michael says you will not be ambushed, because what is unseen to the natural eye has already been intercepted by the eyes of heaven. But still, you must be prepared. Not to fight, not to defend, but to stand. Stand firm. Stand silent. Stand shielded. This confrontation may not come in words. It may show up in decisions made without your input. It may appear as being overlooked, suddenly criticized, or even falsely accused. But no matter what shape it takes, Archangel Michael says this: respond with wisdom, not war. You are not the version of yourself who once reacted impulsively. You have grown. You have been refined. You have been trained by trials. You have learned how to pause, how to pray, how to discern before responding. And now, that maturity is your weapon. Let them underestimate your stillness. They'll never understand how your silence speaks louder than their schemes. The enemy is counting on your emotions to open the door. They are hoping you'll retaliate, that you'll explain, that you'll panic. But your best response is spiritual posture. No rebuttal. No rant. No revenge. Just presence. Just clarity. Just Holy Spirit fire surrounding you like a fortress. The timeline is clear. In the next 60 minutes, the seed of their intention will try to root itself in your atmosphere. But you are already planted in a deeper soil, divine soil. Their plans are surface level. Yours are eternal. Their urgency is panic. Yours is prophecy. Michael reminds you now, this is the final attempt of an old pattern to disrupt a new promise. Do not be alarmed. Be anchored. Do not be drawn in. Be drawn upward. Do not react horizontally. Respond vertically. Let your prayer rise higher than their plots. Let your peace last longer than their pressure. For they will speak, but their words will be hollow. They will move, but their momentum will stall. And they will watch as heaven protects you from everything they meant for harm. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Thank you for being a part of this divine journey. Type I am covered in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 4141 now surrounds your next 24 hours with divine interception and prophetic stillness. Now is not the time to defend yourself. Now is the time to disarm the enemy with your silence. Archangel Michael speaks clearly in this moment. Let heaven fight for you. Your stillness is your power. The energy moving against you has one goal: to provoke a response that gives them access. But your silence will deny them that opening. The protection ordained over your life isn't a wall, it's a wind. It doesn't make noise, but it sweeps through and clears out every false alignment, every deceptive spirit, and every counterfeit connection that tries to find its way into your life. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to defend what heaven has already affirmed. You only need to remain aligned with the rhythm of the Spirit. When Archangel Michael is dispatched, it means the battle has already escalated beyond flesh and blood. And now, you are being called not to react, but to retreat into divine strategy. That means silence. That means observation. That means stillness that looks passive but is actually prophetic. There is a grace in not responding. There is power in watching with clarity rather than confronting with confusion. You are not being asked to pretend nothing is happening. You are being asked to trust that what's happening doesn't deserve your reaction. There is a storm being stirred around your name, but it will pass, because you are not anchored in their noise. You are grounded in God's knowing. You must understand what's happening in the realm of the Spirit. While they seek to trap you with petty offense, heaven is constructing a protective perimeter around your name, your work, your next step. When you choose stillness, you activate the angels that war on your behalf. When you remain quiet, you allow Archangel Michael to strike with clarity. If you jump in too soon, you may interrupt the divine strategy already in motion. But when you stay rooted in peace, you let the angels complete their assignment without resistance. You are not being weak. You are being wise. The wise watch. The wise wait. The wise win. Every move you make in this hour matters. Your energy must be guarded. Your words must be measured. Your time must be sacred. Because in moments like this, when betrayal and transition collide, the enemy tries to sneak in through exhaustion, frustration, or doubt. He tries to trick you into reacting from your soul rather than responding from your spirit. But you are being preserved right now, not just from others, but from the version of you that used to self-sabotage. That old version is gone. You are new. You are grounded. You are covered. And you will not be baited into a battle beneath your level. The moment may come when they see something outrageous, when they twist your words, misinterpret your silence, or spread a lie so blatant that everything in you wants to scream back. That moment may sting, but it is not the moment to break your posture. It is the moment to strengthen it. Look up, not out. Speak in prayer, not panic. Take authority in the spirit before you attempt to control anything in the natural. For what you don't say now will echo louder than anything you could say. What you withhold in silence becomes your shield, and what you don't engage becomes heaven's domain. Archangel Michael is guarding your reputation. He is standing between your name and the arrow they launched in secret. Every accusation, every plan, every whisper is falling to the ground because you refuse to fuel it with attention. You are no longer in a season of reacting. You are in a season of reigning. And kings and queens don't argue with chaos. They command peace. You do not need to step down to correct the record. God is writing your legacy in permanent ink. The more they press, the more He protects. The more they speak, the more heaven silences. You are hidden for preservation, not punishment. You are silent for strategy, not fear. You are still for impact, not inaction. Let the angels move. Let the Spirit speak. Let peace be your sword. Type "I choose stillness" in the comments if this word is alive in your soul. Blessing Code 2020 is now unlocking supernatural clarity and divine invisibility in this season. They thought you were fragile. They thought your silence meant surrender. They mistook your peace for passivity. But they were wrong. Archangel Michael announces this with divine certainty. You are no longer who they thought you were. The person they plotted against, the version they strategized to manipulate, is gone. That chapter has closed. That version has ascended. And what remains now is not the one who survived, it is the one who has risen. The one who walks with divine fire in their bones. The one who carries authority without noise, discernment without doubt, strength without show. This shift isn't coming. It has already occurred. Your enemies are fighting a memory of you, not the masterpiece God is now revealing. While they scheme against the old you, the real you is stepping into purpose. You no longer need to fight for a seat, because you've been given a throne. You no longer chase after validation, because you walk with heavenly affirmation. The very people who once dismissed you will begin to feel the weight of your absence. And the spaces that once tolerated you will now long for your presence, not because you need them, but because they've realized they no longer hold the version of you they thought they controlled. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is not pride. This is prophetic positioning. Archangel Michael reveals that the disruption you've experienced, the distancing, the shifting, the betrayal, was all designed by divine intelligence to remove you from old cycles. You've been pulled out of relationships that drained you, out of environments that stifled you, out of timelines that kept you waiting. And now you are stepping into your real realm, the realm of influence, revelation, and spiritual dominion. You are becoming the version of you that no weapon formed can touch. The one anointed not just for survival, but for strategy. Not just for breakthrough, but for building kingdoms. And yes, they will talk. Yes, they will wonder. Yes, they may even try again. But now you walk with the wisdom of when to speak and when to remain still. You move with the discernment of when to act and when to observe. You carry an authority that does not beg for recognition because heaven already knows your name. Your presence will speak before you do. Your energy will shift rooms before you even arrive. You are no longer striving. You are standing. And when you stand in the divine, your enemies have no choice but to sit in their own confusion. Heaven is not calling you to explain your evolution. Heaven is calling you to embody it. Let them talk about the past. Your present will speak volumes. Let them recall old wounds. Your healing will speak even louder. You don't need to shout. You don't need to argue. You don't need to revisit rooms that once rejected you. You're no longer fighting to be seen. You become undeniable. This is what divine empowerment looks like. Elevation without aggression. Growth without retaliation. Movement without announcement. You are not rising to prove anything. You are rising because it is time. Because destiny is no longer knocking. Destiny has kicked in the door. And when you walk forward from this moment, walk like you are carrying fire, because you are. Walk like heaven sent you, because it did. Walk like you are chosen, because you are. And anyone who tries to revisit the old you will be met with silence and elevation. That's your strategy now. You rise. You glow. You don't explain. You don't chase. You let them wonder. You let them watch. And as they try to figure out how you keep winning, you'll keep walking into promises they'll never have access to. Because what God sealed, man cannot steal. Type "I have risen" in the comments if you feel this word stirring in your soul. Blessing code 8888 is now unlocking divine elevation, spiritual growth, and irreversible empowerment over your life. This moment was not sent to break you. It was designed to birth you. This confrontation, this conflict, this betrayal, this tension that seems to appear out of nowhere, it is not your downfall. It is your deliverance. It is the final pressure point before prophetic transformation is unlocked. Archangel Michael speaks now with thunderous clarity. You are stepping into the result of every seed you sown in pain. You are stepping into the harvest you watered with your tears. You are stepping into the reward for every battle you endured silently. This isn't just a breakthrough. This is a total shift. A divine pivot. A spiritual release from the last tether holding you to old versions, old patterns, old environments, and old emotional reactions. The rival was never the threat. The threat was the version of you that still felt the need to explain yourself. And now that version has died. And now, you are walking into prophetic clarity where you no longer waste your oil on people who were never assigned to carry your vision. You no longer pour from your cup just to be tolerated. You no longer bow to be accepted in rooms that were built on your silence. That era has ended. Heaven is moving you into rooms where your presence is honored, where your gifts are received, where your peace is protected. And the beautiful irony. The rival who moved against you has now become the key to your movement forward. Because their plan revealed your power. Your betrayal revealed your boundaries. Your shift exposed the necessity of your separation. Archangel Michael declares this is your final test before elevation. Not a test of intellect, but of character. Not a test of force, but of faith. The rival moved, but you stayed still. The words came, but you remained wise. The plot thickened, but your peace deepened. This is what heaven wanted to see. That the refining was not in vain. That the oil you carry now wasn't pressed out of popularity, but out of perseverance. You were crushed, but not cursed. You were shaken, but not shattered. You were misunderstood, but never misaligned. And now, as you pass this test, the heavens prepare to open a door that no man, no demon, no rival will be able to close. This moment is sacred, because it marks the moment where everything begins to flow in alignment, favor, opportunities, insight, authority. You will wake up different. Not because the storm has stopped, but because it no longer affects your center. You have outgrown the warfare that once wore you out. You have surpassed the triggers that once made you spiral. You now respond as someone who knows who they are because you have seen who God is. This is not a rise based on effort. This is a rise based on divine favor. Heaven has marked you. Angels are surrounding you. And what was once delayed is now being released with acceleration. Yes, people will wonder how you managed to shift so quickly. They'll wonder how the one who was under attack yesterday is walking with a crown today. They'll wonder how the storm missed you while hitting everything else. But they will not understand that what protected you was not a shield made by hands. It was a covenant sealed in heaven. You didn't just survive. You transformed. You didn't just avoid collapse. You experienced a divine becoming. The version of you that exits this season will not recognize the one who entered it. You are being refined in fire, and fire leaves nothing untouched. So breathe. Smile. Rest. Heaven has settled the case. Your hands are clean. Your soul is lighter. Your reward is already forming in the unseen. It will come through unexpected hands, in unexpected timing, through unexpected favor. And when it arrives, it will not just restore you, it will establish you. Not just for you, but for generations after you. You are the pivot point in your lineage. And this moment, this hour, this test, it was all a doorway. And now, you walk through it with authority. Type "I am walking through" in the comments if this word has confirmed your spirit. Blessing code 9999 is releasing divine transformation, spiritual graduation, and generational favor over your name. You've heard the warning. You felt the confirmation. You've seen the signs aligning all around you. Now comes the moment where heaven waits for your response. This is not just about receiving a word. It is about activating it. Archangel Michael says plainly, this is where your agreement becomes your access. This is where your spiritual authority is not only recognized, it is exercised. And it begins with action, not reaction, not fear, not rushing, but intentional, spirit-led, kingdom-anchored action. Your declaration right now matters more than you know. Because in the spirit realm, silence is power, but agreement is the key. When you speak in alignment with heaven, doors begin to open, interference is blocked, and protection is fortified. Not later, not someday, now. This is where you declare that you believe the warning wasn't just information, it was instruction. This is where you step boldly into agreement, not with fear, but with faith. Because the rival that moves against you cannot cross into what you spiritually seal with your voice. You may not feel powerful. You may not see immediate change. But your declaration, your verbal, bold agreement, signals to the enemy that you are aware, awake, and armed in the spirit. This is not a Sabbath moment. This is a spiritual contract. Your yes in the spirit becomes a wall the enemy cannot scale. Your declaration becomes a line the rival cannot cross. So speak it now. Say what you've been too tired to say. Speak life where you once felt confusion. Speak peace where you once felt pressure. Speak victory where they plotted sabotage. Heaven is listening. Your angels are listening. Archangel Michael stands ready, sword drawn, watching for your alignment. For when the chosen speak, the heavens respond. This is the hour where your voice reclaims what was threatened, restores what was delayed, and revives what was silenced. Your authority isn't in how loud you are. It's in how aligned you are. And your alignment isn't just about affirmations. It's about intentional living. From this moment, choose what you engage with. Choose what you respond to. Choose who gets your time. Choose when to speak, when to rest, and when to let heaven speak for you. Your energy is not for everything. Your oil is not for everyone. You must walk with the knowing that your agreement with God requires your obedience to divine instruction, and that obedience begins with activation. No more thinking. No more hesitating. No more second-guessing your worth, your voice, or your vision. Declare it. Declare that you are chosen. Declare that you are protected. Declare that every hidden trap is now exposed. That your name is shielded. That your purpose is sealed. That your elevation is inevitable. And do it boldly. Because this isn't about ego. It's about establishing dominion. You do not beg for what God already promised. You step into it. And you do so in faith, with fierce expectation that the God who warns you is the same God who will walk you into the reward. You've endured enough seasons of silence. This is the moment you speak. This is the moment your response echoes through heaven. Because every time you activate your faith, you disarm the enemy. Every time you open your mouth with purpose, you shut down every whisper of doubt, every lie spoken against you, every attempt to shake your identity. This is not just a message. This is your mantle. You are not just listening. You are stepping in. You are rising. You are commanding the heavens to move with you, not just for you. And as you declare, heaven accelerates. If this message has affirmed your spirit and helped you rise, consider sowing into this word with a super thanks, super chat, super sticker, or membership. Even a contribution of $20 supports more prophetic messages like this reaching more souls across the world. Your support is deeply valued and helps us continue this sacred mission. Type "I activate this word" in the comments if this is your moment of agreement. Blessing code 3131 is now unlocking supernatural acceleration, clarity, and voice in your atmosphere. And now we come to the end of this prophetic word, but not the end of your rising. The message may be closing, but the movement it unlocked in you has just begun. Archangel Michael remains stationed at your side, and heaven has already begun executing the protection you've been promised. The rival moved, yes, but you remained. The trap was set, yes, but it didn't catch you. The words were spoken, yes, but they could not wound you. Because what covered you in this hour was not just awareness, it was alignment. What shielded you was not just silence, it was supernatural surveillance from the throne room of God. And now, you must walk with that truth anchored deep in your bones. You didn't just survive the attack. You ascended through it. You didn't just endure the silence. You found strength in it. You didn't just pass the test. You proved that you've been transformed. And what the enemy hoped would derail you has only redefined you. This is your new identity now, anchored, affirmed, anointed. No longer reacting to whispers, no longer shaken by shadows, no longer needing to prove, to plead, to perform. You are no longer on the run from opposition. You are rooted in divine position. You are not waiting for approval, you are walking in authority. And every step you take from this moment forward is sealed in spiritual immunity. They cannot touch what God has called. They cannot curse what God has crowned. Let your confidence be still. Let your presence be quiet. Let your authority be unshakable. Your enemies will watch. Your rivals will whisper. But heaven will roar. Heaven will thunder your name in victory. Heaven will move resources, align moments, release revelations, and elevate you publicly for what you endured privately. And when that happens, when the favor begins to form visibly, let your heart remember this hour. Let your spirit stay low in humility. Let your lips speak praise, not pride. Because what is being released now isn't the result of your striving, it is the result of your surrender. Archangel Michael speaks one final decree. Walk boldly, but softly. Watch sharply, but speak wisely. Wait with expectancy, but move only with instruction. You are guided. You are guided. You are grounded. The enemy will still try, but you are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer on their level. And heaven has not only preserved your life, it has expanded your purpose. Everything they tried to take from you, God will restore sevenfold. Every lie told about you will become a ladder God uses to elevate you. Every eye that looked down on you will have no choice but to look up when your favor unfolds. Because divine justice is not loud, it is lasting, and it is now in motion. Do not look back. Do not explain. Do not chase closure. Let your fruit speak. Let your peace speak. Let your consistency speak. You owe no one a reaction, you owe yourself alignment. You have suffered, but now you will shine. You have endured, but now you will expand. The rival move, but you've been moved into destiny. They move it to harm, but heaven move it to honor. And now, walk like it. Speak like it. Breathe like it. Live like it. Because your name is now being carried by winds of divine favor. So go forth today in peace, in quiet power, in hidden glory. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are right on time, right on track, and right where heaven needs you to be. The final word is not theirs, it's God's. And His word over your life has not changed. You are chosen. You are protected. You are rising. Type I receive this closure in the comments if this word has sealed your season. Blessing code 0000 is now surrounding you in divine peace, irreversible favor, and spiritual finality.